games are not getting as much news from the Fighting Game Awards as we expected.
Is the Fighting Game Awards just Evo?
No, but the Fighting Game Awards exists only in our hearts.
Yeah, we'll do the Fighting Game Awards. Is this the last Fighting Games Hour of the year? I need to check.
No.
All right, we will do it in the last Fighting Games Hour of the year. We'll do the Fighting Game Awards for 2022. Fuck it.
Yeah, out of all the fighting games that released this year, KOF 15 and Multiverses.
The NF Duel.
Okay, did you play
JoJo.
the NF Duel? Because I didn't.
There's a 2-hour free trial on PS Plus, so we could.
I don't want to, though.
No, next Fighting Games Hour is the last of the year. But yeah.
Yes, it'll be on the 20th.
Yes.
Which, of course, for those who aren't aware, this one was delayed on account of the Game Awards, as it was believed they were going to get a heaping load of news, and we instead got a medium load of news.
Despite the rumors, Ed Boon didn't walk out and do the spine rip fatality on Jeff Keighley, and I don't get why.
Despite how much Soon wished it.
Yeah. By the way, the bingo card, I'm gonna bring it up because there's the post in the community tab where you can actually fucking see it. So I won't just have to hope that you can see it on the video. And that makes my life easier, and so does yours if you play along. So hey.
Alright. So, yes, the Game Awards. We were going in expecting NetherRealm. Ed Boon said ahead of time it's not happening. Thing is, you can't trust Ed Boon, so still kind of up in the air. Though, to be honest, the post Ed Boon made was pretty fucking earnest. So, probably should have expected it was not a jape.
Yeah, I mean, like, as I've said, I think last time, if he's there, then he's there. If he's not, then he told us. And that's what in my mind. To me, that's what I had to be ready for. So I was just like, well, if Ed Boon shows up, then there's Mortal Kombat.
He was there, he just didn't present. Because him and Harada were hanging out after the show.
I wasn't aware.
Yeah. And I think they both said that was the first time they've ever got to meet. Which is a surprise, because Harada seems like the kind of guy who's met everybody in the fighting game industry.
He's met everybody in Japan.
I mean, hell, he hangs out with Maximilian Dude.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I feel like you must meet like the major Western fighting game developers before you switch to hanging out with the Western fighting game YouTubers.
you know what Ed Boon and Harada hanging out means though. Scorpion will be in Tekken 8.
No. Because see, Ryu wasn't in Tekken 7. And, Kyo Kusanagi or Terry Bogard weren't in Tekken 7 either. They keep going for weird...
Oh, Shao Kahn. Right? Shao Kahn in Tekken 8.
Yeah, Shao Kahn. I feel like Shang Tsung would fit better. Honestly.
I mean,
Shao Kahn, I think, is equivalent to, like, M. Bison or Rugal. But instead, it's Akuma and Geese. And yes, I know Geese comes from Fatal Fury before King of Fighters, but King of Fighters is more relevant. So, to me, it seems more like it would be Shang Tsung territory than Shao Kahn.
Well, the problem with Shang Tsung to me is getting him actually like because like you know Harada, you know how Harada makes fanfics with other fighting game characters, as he said is what Tekken 7 was. So
yeah.
So if Harada wanted to add Shang Tsung, he would like try to get Damco to make him actually change into people in real time, and what that would end up being is just Mortal Kombat Trilogy's PS1 Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're not wrong.
So I guess he could add Quan Chi or Shinnok.
But those both be so lame, and I like both of those guys, but they're not nearly as iconic as Shang Tsung or Shao Kahn.
Yeah, like that's why I said Shao Kahn. Because Shao Kahn would be the easiest to implement and also like the most well known.
Onaga. Oh God.
Onaga.
No. Molina.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. You give people paper doll Melina and let them dress her up as much as they like. Oh my god, that would fucking sell gangbusters. Are you kidding me?
Tekken 8, Tekken 8 does what Tekken 3 did and sells PS5s.
Yeah.
If they had Melina.
I'm just imagining they announce Melina for Tekken 8 and a fucking tide of people appears outside your local GameStop.
Yeah.
Christ, they're coming through! Board the windows!
Imagine if they had Melina and every other character's customization thing suite is like Tekken 7's and Melina's is like Soul Calibur.
Yeah. The issue with doing Mortal Kombat characters in Tekken is that Tekken tries to be very, 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 very accurate to the character's moveset in their base game. And with Mortal Kombat characters, well, yes, for one thing, the teleport and the Melina Ball would both be incredibly menacing in a 3D game. But also, in terms of normals, every character in Mortal Kombat's normals change from game to game.
Yeah.
So would they just go fuck it and make a weird hybrid of all the Melinas? Does she get her German suplex back?
Either that, or they look at what fighting styles they had in Armageddon, and then just look at how those real fighting styles, what those real fighting styles look like, and just adapt that.
Oh man. There was actual fighting game news and we skipped over it immediately to laugh and joke and numbnuts.
Yeah.
So yes, there's let's get to the smaller announcement. We'll save the bigger one. Street Fighter 6 trailer that showed off DJ, Manon, Marissa, and JP. And yes, JP is totally the villain of this game.
Yes, JP is psycho power is what I was going to say. No, but he does have it.
Did this guy just like accidentally eat the donut that M. Bison possessed as a ghost?
Yes. Okay, what if JP is Bison possessing Q?
That would be weird. I feel like he's a little too old to be Q. Or, well, G.
Yeah. But I mean, like, they look vaguely similar. They have similar silhouettes. That's all you need.
I know everyone is going with the JP is Q thing. Or G thing. I think G was way too popular in Street Fighter 5 for them not to make him DLC.
Yeah.
And it's a weird place for me to be in, to have gone from like, oh my god, I love Q, this character that everybody forgot, to everybody loves Q.
Yeah. All they had to do was make the combo easier.
Yeah.
Although it also helped that G was one of the more fun characters added to Street Fighter 5, and Street Fighter 5 was very restrictive. And like, it got better with age. At the same time, you have to keep in mind, characters who had added in Season 1 still play a lot worse than characters added in Season 5. So...
Yeah. Like, well, Season 3 was the point with Street Fighter 5 where it started to get good. Because Season 3 was Sagat, it was G, it was... Who else was in Season 3? Fucking Abel. Or not Abel, excuse me. Fucking Abigail. They started to get wackier with the designs. And when Street Fighter 5 got really good was when they sacked Oh no.
Yeah. And so it leads to this thing where like some like general mechanics of Street Fighter 5 are fine now. The newer characters are fine. Characters added before Season 3 are kind of stinky still. And they're not getting better because they're not reworking the fucking like 2/3 of the roster.
Yeah. That's for Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
By the way, I wanted to mention this just real quick. So this is not like a reputable source, but I just wanted to mention it just because it's funny. I was listening this was probably a month or two ago now, to some of the clips from, no, actually the entire Castle Super Beast episode that had Susie on. Oh, what's her name?
Sphere Hunter.
Sphere Hunter. Yes, there we go. I can never remember. I always want to call her Susie Hunter, and I was like, oh, that's not her name.
She hunts herself.
But either which way, what I thought was funny was they started talking about Japanese corporate culture a little bit, and they specifically talked about how in Japanese corporate culture, people don't really get fired. They get promoted until they're so uncomfortable and stressed out in their new job that they quit.
Yep.
And then
I heard about that.
Pat and Susie both said, "Oh yeah, I know at least one person in particular from my friends at Capcom who is notorious for having been promoted repeatedly in attempts to fire him, attempts to get him to quit. Can't say who though." And Susie was being more professional, and then Pat, of course, being Pat, went, "Oh no, oh no." And it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, who does get promoted after Capcom fighting champ,
Yeah.
Blanca, though.
He can take Blanco. It's fine.
No, he can't.
If that's the only way he'll leave, then he can take Blanco. I'm fine with it.
You want to let him have that bit of joy as he leaves?
Sure, fuck it. If that makes it so he won't come back.
I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. Probably.
I imagine they had a going away party in the offices, if this is true, of course. 100% could just be that Pat's bullshitting, because Pat likes to bullshit. Or, well, I shouldn't say he likes to bullshit, but that Pat has a tendency to believe what confirms his own views and a tendency to suffer badly from immediately believing anyone he thinks is more of an expert than him. But either which way, if this is true, I imagine a scenario in my head. They have like this very meager, mild going away party where there's like a slice of pie on a table with like a shitty cloth over the table. And there's two guys who are like, "Hey, oh no, yeah, you had a good run, man. We'll miss you." Ono steps out the front door, and then the streamers roll down. We got banners from the ceiling. A parade of people come out playing tubas, the whole deal.
Yeah. And everyone's dressed as Blanca. Everyone's in a Blanca Chen costume.
Oh. They're doing the conga. All right, anyways. So, yeah, the characters that were actually shown off, we didn't get to see a whole lot of gameplay. This was definitely a showy, flashy, show-off trailer for the casuals kind of trailer.
Yes, but at the same time, we did get to see World Tour.
We got to see bits of it. We got to see a bunch of minigames.
Yeah.
The fucking break the boards minigame from Street Fighter 1 is back.
Yes, I hope that they bring back Sagat's Stanky Leg. Like, just put in like a secret boss fight in World Tour where you fight fake Sagat, and it's Sagat from Street Fighter 1.
No, I say have a bit when you go to Thailand, because they did reveal that Thailand's one of the spots you can go to, right?
Yeah.
When you go to Thailand, there's a ramen shop, Sagat's Ramen, and the symbol is just a big hologram doing the Sagat Stanky Leg.
He's doing the unblockable knee, or whatever it is, Chain Strike.
And instead of playing music in the restaurant, it just plays horrible voice clips from Street Fighter 1.
It plays the Thailand theme from Street Fighter 1.
Yeah.
That's worse. And then when you buy something, that's when it plays a random voice clip.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we did see Marissa donkey punch the fuck out of people. Holy shit, did you see that?
Yeah. Is Marissa the wrestler?
The Greek MMA chick, yes.
Yeah, her. Yeah,
DJ gets his...
Yeah. Go ahead.
I am the only person on the planet Earth that got hyped up for DJ, and he got his old uppercut super back, so yes. And am I still here?
You are.
Oh.
I thought there was more.
I was kind of figuring you'd jump in there, honestly. It sounded like you had something to say.
Oh, just that while Marissa was getting showcased during the Game Awards, I was like, somewhere W is screaming.
Why would I be screaming?
Enjoy.
Oh yes, I'm happy to get to see, yeah, both of those characters. I want the actual, like, drop the deets. I need the deets, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably get to try them out if you apply for the beta, the second one.
No, the second closed beta is using the same roster as the first.
Ah, never mind then.
What was it? The thing, over the next, like, week or two, maybe they'll probably be dropping. Capcom's Twitter will probably be dropping, like, gifs and explanations for the characters' moves, because they did that for
Yeah.
the last crop of characters.
I hope DJ's win animation is him flipping that switch.
Okay, now we're just going too far deep into the memes where now you can't. DJ literally can't be mentioned without you mentioning the racist design.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh,
I'm talking about the animation error. Where he shrunk. Small DJ.
oh, small DJ, the incredible shrinking DJ.
Yeah.
That's really more on me that I thought of racist DJ first, then, huh?
Yeah.
Again, I don't want the memes to be in win poses. I want the memes to be in World Tour Easter eggs.
Yeah, but I don't know how they do it. Like I don't know how they could because like if they're doing it in World Tour, then it would have to be like a triggerable cutscene or something like that. Like it or not a cutscene, but like an animation loop, pretty much.
I mean, there's
when
lots
would
of, like, just little cheesy ways to do it like that, like having a logo for a ramen shop or something.
yeah.
And of course, you can always just have, like, somebody in their win quote make a joke about DJ shrinking.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, were there any of these four characters, like? Well, I was about to ask if you're interested in any of these four, and I realized, well, we really haven't seen a whole lot of these four, so you have nothing to go off of.
Yeah. JP looks like he might have a genocide cutter, so maybe.
That is a very good motivation to play a character. That is true.
Like the only thing I'm basing this off of is JP has long legs, but What do you mean long legs doesn't equal genocide cutter? Why doesn't it?
Long legs and suit pants.
Yes. I look forward to King getting a genocide cutter in KOF 16.
He kind of has got. Well, he's definitely got a chick uppercut in several games.
Are we talking about King or?
Oh, did you say King? I thought you said Kim.
No, King. No, Kim is not in Kim is not in dress pants, so it doesn't work.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, King's never really had has Kim had a Shoryu?
Kim? Well, he has the flash kick.
King. Oh, King. Fuck me.
Okay, King. King has had an anti-air. Like technically a Shoryu, maybe, I don't remember, but it was like it was a flash kick. Well, not the input. The animation was kind of like a flash kick, if memory serves.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I always think of just her little backwards cartwheel that if you get touched by it, it's lightning legs.
Yeah. That may be what I'm thinking of. I don't remember. But yeah.
All right. So let's hit the big news. The big news. Which is Tekken 8 gameplay trailer.
Yes. Paul Phoenix's new design is pretty good. I liked it.
I really, it's weird to look at.
It is.
Because the tower hair, I get the tower hair's been outdated for 2 decades now. But it's such a signature Paul Phoenix thing that seeing a Paul Phoenix that's the official main design with no tower hair is so weird.
Yeah, that's the thing of like well, for one, if there was any time for Paul to have Polnareff hair, it would be now because JoJo's big. But
it is, but you can tell they want to try and shoot for more of a photorealistic design with Tekken 8.
Yeah, and the separate thing, like the design that this one seems to be based off of was Paul's Player 2 costume in Tekken 5, I want to say. So like it's not like yeah.
Yeah, he's had a few costumes down the years where he had his hair down. Yeah,
but that one both had his hair down and had like a biker jacket and stuff like that.
well,
So
Paul has a biker jacket more often than he has a fucking gi nowadays.
that's true.
Like Tekken 7 very consciously made the decision of no more martial arts gear, all street clothes.
Yeah, which is an idea. I still, like I was going to say I still don't get why they redesigned Lee, and then I went, oh wait, he had the same design for like 13 games. Also, fetish for coats.
Yes, which still continues. Kazuya has a design that looks very similar, but is different than Tekken 7. And Leo has a horribly over-designed coat, which is not a surprise because everything with Leo is horribly over-designed.
Yeah.
John is back, which is nice. We knew it was going to happen at some point.
Yeah, allegedly, according to Harada, going by an IGN interview that I will reference a couple of times today, but according to the interview, John was supposed to be back earlier, but Harada fucked up with the story because every time there was some whatchamacallit, advancement in technology, he was like, I can tell this part of the story better, and then he made that part of the story more detailed. So like Tekken, apparently Tekken 4 through 6 were supposed to be one game, or something like that, which is why the story is fucked now.
Why we just hung on Kazuya versus Heihachi for 20 years, you know.
Yeah, like allegedly we were supposed to reach this point a lot earlier. Like John was supposed to be back very soon. But yeah. That does make me wonder though where we'll go after the destruction of the planet by the Temple Gene.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Tekken 10 is literally, here's the Tekken cast battling on a series of fucking asteroids. Because Jin still is like, I gotta get rid of the devil gene though, and Kazuya is still like, haha, I'm evil.
But it's Nightmare Kazuya.
At this point, he's just a walking fucking volcano.
Like one thing that I can say immediately, just looking at the like 3 seconds of cutscenes that we've seen so far, is that this is the moment. Like Tekken 7 was getting up there. Tekken 8 is the moment that Tekken's story stops being Tekken's story and starts being Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. We're getting closer to that every game.
Yes. But like this is the moment. This is the moment where you can pinpoint. This is the exact moment that Tekken's story stopped being Tekken and started just being anime. Which like it's always been a bit anime, but it was grounded. Like it was like Tekken. It's a slight bit anime because it's influenced by it, but also grounded. The story more so than the gameplay, but still. And then the gameplay is getting more and more into just doing stuff like traditional fighting games, and the what the fuck did I say? The gameplay is getting more into doing stuff like traditional fighting games, and the story is just becoming more and more anime. And this is the point where I just saw the scenes and I was like, that's a shonen. Like you're not hiding it anymore. That's you're not just using this as a supplement to have something. No, that's just a fucking shonen. Like these characters are going to be flying in the air and fighting.
Yeah, I think that's actually going to happen with Devil Kazi and Devil Jin at some point.
So yeah, like it's gonna be worse if it's normal Kazuya or Jin, because like if they're in that devil form and they're actually using their wings to keep themselves afloat, it's gonna be dumb in anime, but it's at least gonna be somewhat more realistic. If they start doing it without the devil gene, that's when I'm just like, okay, no, you either choose the art style or this story. You can do both. Because like photorealistic shonen sounds funny, but funny doesn't equal good, you know?
They've tried it several times and it's managed to not work every time.
Yeah. Like it's a thing of like, once again, I think I might like it just because it's funny, it's enjoyable because it is funny. I don't think it will be of quality. And that's the big point. Is that you generally if you make something, you want it to be of quality. So but yeah. And then Johnny's back as you've said. She got a new design again. Which makes sense because her other redesign wasn't canon, but still.
Yes.
They did say though, they did say during this interview that they have redesigned every character in the game.
That is.
Yeah.
Haven't they done that every game now? Well, not
no.
every game, excuse me, but
Yes.
didn't they do that in Tekken 7?
In 7? Yes. Like I remember the P2 costumes, which are the old ones, but I think so. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think so. I believe so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they redesigned the characters. They remodeled them completely. They re-rigged them, which means that the animation might be like which means Harada might be reworking the animations, which means better rollback, possibly.
Sweet. Hopefully.
Yeah, like he specifically pointed out that they re-rigged the characters. If they re-rig the characters, they have to redo the animations because they won't work. So there's no fucking reason not to do rollback anymore. Well, there's no reason not to do good rollback anymore, I mean. So you know.
Yeah.
That's something to look forward to, at least. The possibility that rollback might exist. Well, in a tangible way, I mean.
Yes. And not in a 3 frames kind of way.
Yeah. In at least 6 frames kind of way.
Yes. But not 7.
But maybe 8. That would be funny if they said, considering how much of the advertisements are centered around the number 8. It would be funny if they set the rollback to be 8 frames. I don't know if that would fuck with stuff or not. It would just be funny to learn about. Speaking of the whole thing, like with the 8 being on chain and all that, is supposed to represent that Jin is still trying to break free from his chains, and I assume he's going to. Oh God! Yeah.
Like every Tekken that comes after 6 just emphasizes more and more that Jin killed millions for nothing.
Yes.
Like, it's what a fucking pointless plot.
Yes, Tekken 6 was Tekken 6 had good stages. That's it. Okay.
Otherwise, and Tekken 5 was just kind of spinning the wheels because Jinpachi didn't really actually matter, correct?
Yeah, it was just further characterization for Kazuya.
Well, the further characterization for Kazuya is he liked his grandpa better than his dad, but he still killed him.
Yeah. Did Tekken 4 matter?
Tekken 4 was Kazuya's back and in charge of the G Corporation.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it did. That one did.
Tekken 5 is pretty definitively where the plot went off the rails hard. And you wouldn't know it at the time because Tekken 5 at the time just seemed like another Tekken, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell Tekken 5 had some plot fuckiness just by the nature of the game starting with, Heihachi Mishima is dead. And then he's right there on the roster.
Yeah. I look forward to Heihachi Mishima in Tekken 9. I hope he's...
It's bold of you to think that he's not just going to be DLC for Tekken 8.
That's true. But if they bring him back in Tekken 9, I want him to I want him to have actually like like I want him to be injured by the volcano and then just fucking supplement his body with jack parts.
I mean, we can't entirely discount that he may even still be on disc for Tekken 8 just as a secret character again.
That's true.
Which, my God, if that does happen.
Soon we'll be happy.
I don't think Soon really cares. I think Soon just popped in a way like, I want to say something and be vocal on this thing that I don't care about because that is what I and Ted do. We are vocal about things we don't actually care about. Admittedly, I don't think I'm much better in that category either, though. So, yeah.
We all do it. I mean, like, how many rants have I gone on about fucking fighting game monetization? Well, how many times have I talked shit about the current fighting game monetization while also being like, well, I don't really care, because I really don't. Like the current fighting game monetization sucks, sure, but like I can't come up with anything better. All of the stuff that I see suggested to be allegedly better seems worse. So like, whatever, fuck it.
All right. I believe that's about the extent of what we've got really to say. Do we actually really talk about Tekken 8 news?
Well, we talked about the story.
We mentioned the visual designs, but I guess, again, it doesn't look like we can really tell much gameplay difference from it. At least without the people who are going frame by frame by frame, dissecting it.
The visual stuff, concerning the graphics. Horror did say that it's a work in progress. He pretty much straight up said the lighting is unfinished. It's not gonna look like this. I swear. And then he also talked about a new system in the game called the heat system. That's all he said. It exists.
Oh.
The heat system. Well, let me see if I can find a quote exactly. What he said about the heat system. So, it is meant to enhance and articulate aggressive. And how that's actually going to be...
Enhance and articulate aggressive.
Yeah,
yes.
and how that's actually going to be implemented into the gameplay. Because they are trying to go for a more aggressive playstyle.
I see. So it's another fucking subsystem in a game that was... A game series that was originally built as being more grounded.
Yes. It's yet another subsystem in a game that doesn't need subsystems, yet still has them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all like the heat up or whatever, the heat system and stuff like that. They pointed out is because of esports. We need to sell the game.
Yes.
We need to sell the game to people who are looking at the game. It needs to look pretty. It needs to look real pretty. Have many particle effects.
So here's the thing that we've talked about before on this, is that trying to use gameplay systems to artificially force players to be aggressive as a way of encouraging esports does not really work because it's not helping the actual esports be all that much more entertaining.
And not only that, But like just in general, please stop trying to force esports. Esports will happen. Like if game good, esports. If game bad, no esports. Regardless of what the fuck you do.
Well, there is still the thing of like, well, some fighting games are just more entertaining to watch than others. But the thing is, Tekken doesn't really need help in that category. Tekken is already super in the lead right now.
Yeah.
Because out of all the fighting games, what is the easiest one for a casual to watch and understand? The game that is just punch up.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people who look at Street Fighter and go, fireballs? What? I don't know. And can then tune into Tekken and understand immediately, oh, Kung Fu Punch.
Yeah, and the thing with that too is that what they're doing, it might be counterproductive, because what are they doing quantifiably? Adding particle effects. A person will look a person who doesn't play video games. They look at that and go. A person will look at who doesn't play video games will look at Tekken 5, and they will look at the hit effects, and they will go, all right, so whenever I hit someone, there's a small blood spray, or there's a small spray of sweat when they block it. A person will look at Tekken 7, and they will go, all right, so that guy shoots fireballs, looking at Akuma. That guy shoots wind, looking at Geese.
Nah.
Also, people are glowing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely taking away from the realistic appeal that I think Tekken, Harada or whoever at Bamco doesn't understand the appeal of the game they're working on.
Yeah.
Like, I think that that's been a serious problem for Tekken for several years now, but it seems to be getting worse instead of better.
Yeah, like it's been a problem since 6. I will go to my grave saying that the rage system sucks, I think. But
it is pretty tangibly noticeable, yeah. And now they're adding another system on top of that, which will probably add to it.
Yeah. But all right, let's do some theory crafting or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Let's do some hypotheticals. Say the heat system does small particle effects, as in like very very noticeable stuff. And I don't know, it acts like guts, where like you take less damage if you get hit a lot, or something like that. You can do some good branding by removing rage and putting the super moves, calling them heat moves. People won't notice. Alternatively, just fucking remove super moves, please. Like,
you know that ain't happening because that's what gets onto the YouTubes, Bubba.
Like, legitimately, I every part that is connected to rage, I think sucks.
Yeah. I just can't disagree on that. Like, it's bizarre for them to be like, we need more of the esports views. I was literally just yesterday watching Maximilian Dude have a video where he is going like, yeah, I can't actually play the video games I want to play on my channel because, like, the fighting games that actually really do the best are on YouTube and Twitch are Tekken, because it's so realistic.
Yeah.
And other very low, kind of low speed, unambitious fighting games that are realistic. And that's just not what he's into, right?
Yeah.
And I just find that funny how then Tekken 8, Tekken 7, and Tekken 6, and all of them have been doing it, but Tekken 8 continues the trend of saying, okay, we need to get more views on YouTube. Let's make this shit less realistic. Let's make this shit harder to understand.
Yeah. And like the reasoning for the heat system, at least, that I think Harada brought it up, whatever, that they bring up is something that I can understand. I just from judging from the information that we have of the rage system exists, and this is something that's akin to the rage system. Judging from that, like I don't think they're going about a good way handling it. Because the reason that they brought it up is because, you know, people can turtle up fairly easily in Tekken. Like people just getting stuck in blocking and just blocking every move can be a problem. All right, then figure out a way to open people up. Like just do something that what's the word I'm looking for? That promotes opening people up.
Well, it's not like pro players are confused how to do mix-ups.
Yeah.
He keep blocking. I know not what to do. Yeah.
Says Justin Wong.
Yeah.
I don't know any fucking Tekken player. Super Akuma. There we go. I think Super Akuma plays Tekken. Fuck.
I really don't know.
Bunko used to play Akuma in Tekken. I don't know if,
more than me.
I don't know if they still do. There was a time when I watched Akuma players to try and get better. But yeah. Like that's how I learned how to FADC in Street Fighter 4 through Tekken 7. So that's a funny story. But yeah. Aside from this, let's see. There was one quote in the in this article that I thought I'd read out because it's concerning the story. That I thought I'd read out because it's a very Harada sentence or whatever, a Harada paragraph.
Don't ask me for shit.
No. So they asked him about whether or not someone will get thrown into a volcano in this game because that's Tekken. And he replied, if I had to pick one from a positive meaning, it would be Jin Kazama, because his father and grandfather have each had their turn, but he hasn't. Not to kill him or
That's
anything.
funny.
Yeah, not to kill him or anything, but to force him to go to the next level, to be the better version of himself. I think just throwing him into a volcano might help that. And that's the most harder sentence. I think throwing him into a volcano might just help that.
Like, that says a lot about fucking Tekken now, doesn't it? That it's like, all right, let's throw this guy in the volcano. He'll live, but it'll make him better.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very anime trope. It's just, I don't know why Harada or whoever keeps deciding this, I guess Harada. I don't know why Harada keeps going back to this one trope. He's gone back to this one trope in the past 4 games. And this trope,
I guess because
this trope started the games off.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's why. It's going back to the roots, you know?
Yeah, maybe. But do we need to go back to the roots every game? Like, is it still the roots if we're still there?
Like, it's honestly kind of amazing that Kazuya didn't throw Jinpachi into a volcano.
Just do a director's cut of that scene where he steps him with his hand and then just carries his dead body to a volcano.
Lazily edit Jinpachi's face over Heihachi's.
Yeah. No, lazily edit Jinpachi's Tekken Tech to render over Heihachi. Just don't even bother cutting his head out. Just choose the full render. So yeah, that's Tekken 8, I think. Oh yeah, they're also gonna try. They're also gonna try and give Jun more character. Is something they've said.
What other than perfect ideal woman that Kazuya somehow managed to get with?
Yeah, I guess they thought it was like Jun likes animals. That's a big part of her appeal. And he also explains something about her character. He's like, I don't think Westerners would get this because it's fucking anime. He doesn't say that, but it is.
Well, there's definitely a big stretch of Jun that feels like the ideal Japanese waifu, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even just mean like anime, but she feels like very Shinto, very old school Japan, right?
Yeah. So what Harada said is that there's a mentality in Japanese. There's a Japanese mentality of martial arts. He said, you have these skilled warriors who are fighting throughout history. They have a fighting spirit that emanates from them, and likewise, you can detect it off of your opponents if they're highly skilled and trained. It is said in Japanese lore that when they achieve a higher level of mastery, they are intentionally able to avoid projecting that fighting spirit. The birds and animals approaching her, June, show that she is able to avoid emanating that fighting spirit. It's a very Eastern concept.
Yeah, no shit.
So June has a power level of 9,000.
You know that's not true because she has boobs.
I mean, it could go either way, because, like...
Remember the one
Yeah.
time Tekken had a female final boss and she was a fucking joke?
Oh, Unknown.
Oh, I forgot about Unknown. There is Unknown, but yeah. Because Kazumi really didn't end up being near as important as we all thought, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Kasumi exists because... Well, Kasumi exists both because she was somewhat pre-planned, because she was in Tekken 2, or referenced in Tekken 2, or Tekken 1, I forget, in Heihachi's stage. But aside from that, we also needed to add Mishima character, a new one. There needs to be a new Mishima every game. So I wonder who's gonna be... Yeah.
Have we already made the joke that at some point they're just gonna retcon in that Heihachi's the father of everyone on the Tekken cast who isn't a Mishima?
Not yet.
Okay, let's make that joke now. Heihachi has secretly this entire time been the father of everyone who's not a Mishima on the cast.
Except for Lee Chaolan. He's still adopted.
Yeah. Heihachi's dick went everywhere. Everywhere. He was able to fuck a machine and it produced Jack.
He fucked the toaster.
Roger Jr. is going to have to be renamed to Heihachi Jr.
Yeah. Roger Jr.'s ending is the fucking father leaving, getting a divorce.
The G Corporation started working on the idea of cloning a dinosaur, but then Heihachi came in and put his sperm sample into the mix. And that's how you got Alex.
You can't just say that Heihachi came in.
Yeah.
And then insert thing here. Gone.
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Yeah, Tekken. Boy, that series is like the weird thing about Tekken is that Tekken is not like the directions Tekken have gone into are not offensively bad. They are not like, oh my god, burn the whole series. They are not like, oh my god, how could they have done this to me? It is like they are not. This is a personal vendetta. Harada has personally killed my dreams and my family. It is. Yeah, they just keep making a lot of stupid, mediocre moves that make me less and less interested in the series.
Yeah, like looking at the stuff they've shown, that you know how I feel about cinematic story modes. So I'm just like, I'll wait to see how the single player suite looks. That will decide whether I care or not.
There won't be one. I am going to guarantee you Tekken's going to be the last one to try and make single player a thing again. Because at the end of the day, Harada is Harada. For better and for worse. Harada does his own thing. He doesn't really follow industry trends unless he likes them, I guess. But if he doesn't particularly like one, he's going to say, fuck it, I'm not doing this. And he has people to answer to, by all means, but they don't seem to be very strict.
Yeah, whether or not they're strict seems to vary a lot depending on what he's asking.
I could probably believe that.
Because, like, It's one of those things where, like, I imagine Harada would like to make another like 3D beat 'em up, because he tried twice, but he also tried twice. Bemco not going to fund that.
No.
Alternatively, I also definitely know that Harada wants to make a Mugen. Harada wants to license out like 4 different games and just put them all together into one package and then just ship that shit. And
no one could make that.
Yeah, and like no one is going to go and get all of that licensing stuff done. Like,
yeah,
Harada will license out characters because that's easier. Like, he just put characters into Tekken because that's easier, and that's what he actually wants to do. So it's it's a compromise, but he can't actually make a Mugen like he wants, because just for example, let's say Harada were to make a proper we're gonna represent everyone Mugen of Tekken and Street Fighter going against each other. Well, if Harada wants to license out all of the Street Fighter characters that have ever appeared in Street Fighter, okay, so he needs to hit up Capcom. Also, Arika.
Yeah.
That's 2 license holders for 1 series. Okay, now imagine that for 4 games. So,
Yeah.
And to think of, like, well, some stuff might be easy to license out. Like, I assume, going by their previous licensing agreements, I assume that Harada could just send a letter or just go to KOF headquarters and or SNK headquarters and just be like, hey, I want to make a KOF game, and they just go, okay, cool, do that. But
well, I'm willing to bet Harada vastly oversimplified his description of licensing geese, because that shit just doesn't happen.
Probably, but like...
And Harada's known to have a sense of humor and like to fuck with people. Perhaps not to an Ed Boon degree, but still. At the end of the day, when you're having a casual discussion over a beer, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's where you heard that from Harada, right? It's a casual discussion at a bar. There's a difference between saying, well, I had to contact this guy and that guy. We had to get this paper signed, that paper signed. We had to find this guy who lived in the mountains. He apparently worked on some aspect of Geese's design and still owns this part of him. This, that, then another. And after 5 months of work and 2 licensing workers committing suicide from stress, we were eventually able to license Geese for the game. That doesn't work as well as, oh, well, I rung up the KOF boys and they said, sure.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly, it wasn't even he rung up the KOF boys. He met with the series director at, like, I forget which event it was, but it was like it was a fighting game event, and he was just like, all right, I want Geese for Tekken, and the guy went, okay. And then while they were working on Geese's model, Harada sent him a picture of Geese's model, and the guy just went, okay.
Yeah. Well, even if that was the case, I assume it's very different now that KOF is under a lot more ambitious management than it was back then.
Yes, probably. And like I was going to say, like, even if
this is all very funny, but yes, KOF management, the SNK management, legitimately did not give a fuck for a good while there.
Yeah.
And were very incompetent and had no money.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, like, even if that were still the case with SNK, all right, that's 1 license holder. You still have like 12. So
yeah. I mean, just getting Negan back. My God, how did it happen the first time? Right?
Yeah. Like, getting any of those characters back, because, like, Square is Square. If they throw enough, if Bemco is willing to throw enough money, they can get Noctis. Like, no questions asked. Akuma would be a bit harder because he doesn't have Ono anymore. But at the same time, he does seem friendly with the new guys. So it would be slightly harder, probably, but still a possibility. Negan, no, I don't see Negan. Not with because isn't Walking Dead owned by someone under Warner Bros?
Well, the Negan they have is the Negan of the show, who is probably a very different story from the comics. I don't entirely know who owns the rights to the TV show version.
Well, it would
I
be
have to
HBO,
assume that they
right?
all answer
Wasn't
back to
it?
Robert Kirkman, or at least I would assume so based on the fact that he distinctively made Walking Dead. But it's difficult to say because he made the comic and he was one of the heads of production over the show, I believe. But I really don't know.
I'm trying to see who owns the rights, but I can't find it just yet. But who owns who initially like commissioned this? Let's start there. Can I find that? uh, there's four or five different production companies. Ooh,
Yeah, that's
originally
how
from
it works
AMC.
nowadays.
AMC apparently was the commissioner. So who owns AMC?
I would assume AMC does, though I don't know that means that they actually own the rights. Because you got to keep in mind, there's still stuff like Walking Dead, video games, and so on that I don't believe AMC has anything to do with.
Yeah, but considering that that it's the series Negan, they would have to hit up AMC anyway. And yeah, even for Negan, they have to hit up AMC because they own the broadcast, or they own the original whatever licensing rights of Walking Dead. They have to hit up the
Yes.
guy who made Walking Dead because he made Walking Dead. They have to hit up the
Yes.
actor for his likeness.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And on top of that, not only do they just have to have the licensing rights for the character altogether, but they don't actually have Jeffrey Dean Morgan in the studio recording rights for Tekken. They recycle lines from the TV show.
Yeah.
So they have to get the rights to adapt audio from the TV show.
Which means getting the broadcast rights, technically, I think. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and that is also part of why Tekken 7 will never be re-released.
Yeah. And honestly, like...
Similar to the Gone issue from Tekken 3, right?
Yes. It's a thing of like, well, you know, I liked Akuma in Tekken 7. It's one of my favorite Akumas. But Tekken 7 is not a great loss.
No, it's not. It's not. At the end of the day, like, with Tekken 7 being out and relevant, I still prefer to play Tekken Tag 2.
Yeah. I'd still, like, with Tekken 7 being out, I'd still prefer to play Tekken 5 online, but it's not available. So...
Yeah.
Like, I wish they remade Tekken 5. Like they did for the PS3. Just redo that with rollback. But until there's tangible evidence, allegedly, Bamco will not say okay. Like we need actual stats of, alright, this is the amount of people who would genuinely buy this product. And that's when Bamco will say it will give the go ahead. Because according to Harada, he's brought this up a couple times already. Not with Tekken 5 specifically, but with any Tekken game. The reason that they don't release older Tekken games is because there's not enough tangible interest. Allegedly.
Yeah, I can see where, to be honest, like, doing classic re-releases of Tekken 1 and 2 are neat. But I can see where a lot of people would have the perspective of not wanting re-releases of Tekken 4, 5, and 6. The original 3 Tekkens are considered classics. Tekken 1 is kind of considered... Tekken 1 and 2 are definitely more artifacts than they are well-aged classics. But still, Tekken 4 and 5 and 6 kind of blend together for a lot of people, as does Tag 1. And I think it can be a bit of a different position if you distinctively grew up with one of those Tekkens. And Tekken 5, I think most people would agree, is a really good one. But for a lot of people, for a big crowd, the appeal of Tekken 5 is not all that different from Tekken 7, because a lot of people are not... Most people are not as opinionated on Rage as you are, right?
Yeah.
So I can't see Tekken 5 remaster having that big of an audience. I think Harada, or at least Harada's boss, is right on that.
Yeah, like even if they did a remake, it would be Dark Resurrection, which isn't my preferred one. Like the balance is probably better. I forget because I played both, but that I like the stages of the original better.
I didn't know they changed the stages for Dark Resurrection at all.
They did. It's all based on the original stages, but they're all differently themed. So like the Frog Garden is more horror themed, and the graveyard is different colored.
Ah, okay.
Stuff like that. The fight pit, I think, doesn't have people in it or something like that.
Weird. Oh, because it's portable, right?
Yeah. And so like I just prefer the original stages, and that's pretty much the only reason I like Tekken 5 Vanilla better. But yeah. And I think that's all Tekken that we can really discuss. Like, because like, what else can we say about Tekken 8 or relating to Tekken 8?
Good question.
There's not they didn't reveal a lot of information. The gameplay still looks like Tekken, yes. Like the gameplay still looks like modern Tekken, yes.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing, the last thing that I can bring up, I suppose, is it seems like Jin will be able to transform into Devil Jin or something like that. He's getting animations where he has wings again, or whatever the fuck. He has animations where he grows wings, like Kazuya does.
Yeah.
So who knows what they'll do with that? But that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah.
All right, then on to other news because I have that open somewhere. So let's see. Last time we talked about the rumors that Team Ninja wanted to do a remake of Ninja Gaiden or Dead or Alive.
Yes.
And Team Ninja has clarified they thought about it. That's it. Like it came up, but nothing's happening.
I mean, fighting game remakes. There's not really been a fighting game remake yet.
But
right?
they're not remaking it. They're thinking about rebooting it. If I said remake, then I'm wrong.
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, they thought about rebooting both, and or allegedly they thought about rebooting both. They've confirmed that they thought about it, and nothing's happening.
Shit ain't moving.
Yeah. So that's that. Then the Samurai Showdown rollback netcode open beta begins in January. That's it.
Yay.
Good for people who like Sam Show 7.
Yay.
Then All-Star Battle R released their DLC rollback or whatever roadmap.
Yes.
And they are adding stuff from the end of Part 6.
Yes.
Also 3 other things, but we don't know about that just yet.
Yes.
All right, then you can play as Akuma, Ryu, and I think Chun-Li, I forget, in Fall Guys.
Yes.
You can do the demon flip right off of the map and die.
Yes.
And it's the stinky Street Fighter 5 design for Akuma. So
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, technically, the official version of the Street Fighter 6 design has not been released yet.
That is true. I mean, I didn't think they would use the Street Fighter 6 design. It's just a thing of like, crossovers always get the most recent design. And Fall Guys just got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Then, Street Fighter 6 Closed Beta Test 2 is coming. Yes.
Yes.
Starting on the 16th, I think.
I am probably going to be too busy for that.
It's going from the 16th to the 19th. Then, Nintendo. Well, no. Smash is dead.
Yes. I have heard about this.
So, Panda Global, the team, I think, whatever company, Panda Global, did some Shang Tsung magic on Nintendo and killed the Smash scene. Then themselves.
Yes. As is tradition.
Then, DNF Duel announced a new character. They are a new character in DNF Duel. Yes.
Eh.
I don't know who it is. It's DNF Duel. Anyway. Project L got an update talking about their gameplay basics and stuff like that. And it looks like cross tag.
Yeah.
So hey, I don't care. Like I've been firmly in the I don't care about Project L camp thus far. Them showing off that it's cross tag. I go okay. Then I will never need to care. Good.
I mean, on some level, wasn't it? No matter what, you're going to be opposed to it because League of Legends built the monetization model that you are firmly opposed to.
But it's partially that Riot sucks. Like Riot's also sex pests. So
Yeah.
and then this is just another thing of like, oh, okay, then then I don't like. I have even less reason to care. I didn't have any reason to care before. I have even less now. Then the Rumblefish 2 remake or whatever, not remake, the port, maybe remaster, I fucking forget, whatever. They ported the Rumblefish 2 to new things, to new consoles and PC and all that. It's bad. So let's go down the list. This was supposed to be a collection. This was supposed to be a collection of Rumblefish 1 and 2, but they couldn't get one working, I guess. So it's just the Rumblefish 2. Technically, the port of 1 is out there if you buy the deluxe collector's edition or the deluxe collector's physical edition for PlayStation. But that's the only way you'll play Rumblefish 1. Then, the game has no lobbies. You can't see the opponent's ping, and there is no rematches. The game kicks you out of the title screen after an online match. So, things great. And that's about it. Really, that's all the news I found in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to slow down around the TGAs for anything that isn't the TGAs, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna check real quick if there's any more that I can find. But that's all the stuff I found immediately. Well, the Street Fighter 6 release date was announced.
Yes, June 2nd.
Yeah.
Just in time for my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you see? Did you see the teaser that they did for the Game Awards? But that Bemco did. That was honestly probably my favorite part of the Game Awards this year.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a minute of build up. It's a minute of build up, and it ends on Harada, in a chair with a Santa hat on. And he says, "Don't test me for shit," and then they cut. And that was the teaser for the Game Awards.
Nice.
Did we talk about this? Probably. Yes. Yes, this came out while we were recording, so yes. All right, then that's it.
Oh, we got hot news off the presses?
Not now. Last week, or whatever, last time. Oh, the Code Mystics stuff with Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah, that turned out to be a big nothing.
Oh.
They announced the announcement was that they were adding a lobby system to the arcade Killer Instinct stands. And yeah, Code Mystics had to pretty well go, sorry that this spun way out of control, guys. We didn't expect this.
What do you mean arcade?
So Code Mystics makes the rollback ports of several classic arcade
I know
games
that. I know
for
that.
Arcade 1-Up. Yeah.
Oh, Arcade 1-Up. So all right.
Yeah.
I see. So yeah. Then that's it. Because most of the news is just Street Fighter and Tekken. Smash's implosion. And Ed Boon not being on the TGAs. Which physically he was, but he didn't announce shit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the pre-order Dante color for Ken?
I thought that all the pre-order colors looked neat. Though honestly, I didn't take that much of an intent look.
Yeah.
I do find it funny they're continuing to link Ken and Dante because, hey, they got the same voice actor, right? Except they are almost certainly not going to have the same voice actor going forward.
Yeah.
That is not sticking around.
So yeah, I believe that's all of the news then. So, did you play any fighting games?
No, I have not really had the opportunity between moving and finishing up moving and setting things up and not really having internet until like yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I haven't either. So, then I believe we can call it a podcast. Yeah, words.
Fighting games were.
Yes. Fighting games were.